Okay.
Hello, welcome everybody. This is our third Google Hangout. We have a special Hangout today. We have two members who participated in, or participants of the MOOC, Ton Hopman and Diana Dolman. I see, Diana, that you're back with us. We had some troubles getting in contact. I thought, Tom, but please confirm that you want Diana to first say something.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Diana, I will give you the floor to tell about your experience with the MOOC. We don't have your image, or we have just a picture of you, but that's for the technical reasons, so we apologize for that. Diana, you can talk now. Diana? No, I think.
Okay. So I will start.
I'll give you the floor. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Why did I participate in the MOOC? So new. I had no idea where I would end. It was more about who, what, and why. So I would like to participate. But for me, it started as a kind of blind dating, because no face, only the computer, silence around you, no contact. So I was a little bit lost, because in my normal life I have always contact with people. I would like to see a face, to interact with the person. So in problem-based learning I was a little bit lost when I followed this, let's say, course. For me, the components of the course, that means the case, the lectures, and the literature, was for me very informative and also stimulating to be enthusiastic again about PBL. But for this I don't need all the other people around, but I don't see them. So it also could be an LOE course, let's say only reading, listening, and then because so I'm trained in that sense. So I would have benefit from a kind of instruction to have a very easy way to communicate with each other. And in the beginning I thought would be better to do it separately, not synchronous but asynchronous. But to be honest, then you are lost, because you would like to have a direct contact with the person. If you say something, you should say, oh no, not I have not that type of experience. So the components of the course were very informative, also illustrate the problem of PGO and the future of PBL, but the form, I think there was too much information on the screen. I was a little bit lost, because normally we have a book, or we have a text, we have a text block, I mark text, so communication with the other, that was poor. And that's a pity. I tried to phone them. I didn't obtain contact with them. Then I phoned again. They were not there. I sent a message via the MOOC, the organization, that take long, so I had no direct interaction. So to be active in PBL, I think that was not good. I missed this completely. The content, okay, but the format for myself was not so efficient. At the end we tried to work on a growing document that was more efficient, but perhaps we should have started at that in the beginning and not somewhat more at the end. Yeah, and for myself, if I read a case, a text, I mark the text in yellow, and then we start discussion. But now, yeah. So the emotion, there is no emotion, and PBL is emotion. It's remembering, thinking, exchange of experience. Yeah, and as I said, it's a kind of dating site with no partner. So so this is what I missed. I read a lot of things about the PBL, but as propaganda would be good, but to have a mess, it would become a mess because it's difficult to organize, and perhaps I'm not properly trained for. And that was also one of the reasons why to follow a kind of MOOC course to see how that is working, or how I'm lost in the system. So the format and the content, okay, but the work form was not efficient for me. I didn't fit in. But perhaps I'm too old, and the new generation easy. They put something on the web, and then they think, okay, if you react, you react. But that means 3 sentences later, the discussion flowed in a complete different direction, so it's not organized. And yeah, then I'm lost. So that was also one of the reasons to see how it's working if you are participating in such a kind of web-based course about the PBL. Content, okay, work form, I'm lost. Yeah, that's my experience, I think. I don't know whether or not you have questions or.
No, I think it's an interesting remark you made, because we now had a very restricted test MOOC, where you indeed had still the opportunity to take the phone or perhaps even encounter your team member here at campus, while the idea of the MOOC is to go really worldwide, where you have differences in hours, so it's even more complicated there to really communicate. And if I hear what you say now, you say, yeah, more traditional MOOC, you could say, without the collaboration would work perhaps for me, but as soon as you have the collaboration, it becomes very hard to keep up. I was wondering, because you also talked about a document you started to write. Well, a growing document. What platform you used for that then? Did you use?
Yeah, we used it directly in the assignment, but we didn't upload the assignment. We leave it over there, and then we added some sentence. But it was not so efficient, but that could be a way to work. So yeah, but to be personal, I perhaps would more benefit if I could select out of a group of 20 people, I select 5. I said, okay, with you, I would like to work together for 8 weeks, and the rest, skip. I'm not interested in the others. And then I do it simply on, let's say, first contact, a few questions, because we are talking about experience. We are in part 3. That's more the organization, so more how are you setting up, checking, etc. So we are talking about your experience you have in the PBL system. So. But as I said, perhaps I didn't use all the possibilities of the system, but there were so many possibilities, perhaps even too much. If you have a discussion group, if I read, I'm with my emotion, I'm floating in another direction that I have my questions for, or what I would like to discuss with my colleagues. So you have not the proper answer on the proper question. And you don't give the proper answer on the question of another person. So you have a lot of discussions and writing and sentence, but that's not so efficient. So perhaps I'm not, That's the same as if you are sending message SMS, or in the WhatsApp. So it's nice, but the content and the quality is limited.
Yeah. If I'm correct, you were in a group that started with 5 members and that ended with 3 members, right?
Yeah. I think for time's sake, Joost, one of the participants, he stopped because he was very busy, and the other one also was very busy. So we were left with 3.
If this were the real MOOC, probably we would have tried to see if it were possible to regroup and to let your small group join another small group. Would you have seen that as a possible improvement, or would you have preferred to stay the course with the small group?
Perhaps that's. I would like to fix and to couple myself to a person, and I will work with him or her. because that's daily life. So that means if you at the end are going to mix because they fall out, I think it will give. So then you are every time you go to the beginning, and then so you should have some idea who is sitting together with you, reading, and what is his experience, etc. Because you are exchanging experience already. Otherwise, you can read, and so you are thinking about the future of PBL. So what are the problems at the moment for the system PBL? What is Maastricht in the worldwide, and how should we improve things? How should we motivate people? So we are talking about, and we can read. But for me, that was very nice. The literature, we can listen to lectures, so that was okay. But for that, I don't need the others. I can listen. That's old-fashioned, but okay, it's efficient. For me, it's efficient. But I would like to have more direct contact with the persons. And to be honest, I see now with whom I'm speaking, so that would be more efficient for me. I know that that would be more efficient or more variable.
From what you say, I pick up that you didn't have Skype sessions or
we didn't
Hangouts
have Skype, and we are working in different discipline. I heard that another group was working in the same, let's say, FML, biomedical science, so they know each other. I have no idea with whom I'm participating or whatever. So I should, the next time I would more make acquaintance with each other in the beginning. That's my problem. So otherwise, I'm not. For me, it's no problem. I would like to see with whom I'm talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. There were some people in the MOOC stating that they would like to see more deadlines. Did you notice?
So we tried at least to have something always at Sunday evening, Sunday, or the week after. We were not so efficient perhaps by making documents, but it's more the format in which you're working. And so we tested more the format in which you were working. I think don't have more deadlines. I should have more open deadlines. So if it's not Sunday evening, you can make it Monday. People went on holiday one week, the others to a scientific meeting, and then so we said, okay, you are the discussion leader, and then the discussion leader is left. So I think deadlines, I don't like deadlines, but that's life. You need deadlines, but it's open. So not more for me. Not more deadlines, because this is what it is. 2 weeks, 1 week more to formulate a question. Next week. No, not more deadlines.
So you were pleased with the rhythm of the MOOC, having 1 week
I
for.
think so. For myself, to be honest, I should have done more, but okay. But if I have a PBL, I'm let's say familiar with have a discussion, a brainstorm, but I missed the brainstorm. The brainstorm was more reading and abstracting, etc. It was not so challenging, because what was in the case you can directly recognize, and it was but okay, it's more it's about the idea, so you can perhaps what I said, that we don't need more deadlines and those. And perhaps the questions, there were a lot of questions. You can answer the question, even yourself could answer the question without a discussion with the others. So if we are talking about PBL, I think we should have discussions with each other, or exchange experience with each other, or check whether or not we properly understand the literature, or what people wrote about changing a curriculum. So we need, and someone was talking only about economics. So what is the price of the system? I said, my God, well, I'm not interested in the price of a system. Nobody is interested in the price. We have no idea what it costs, the whole system, because the management team is not able to give us any numbers what it costs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm more interested than in 12-hour contact hours, while the other said, yeah, I have no experience in that sense. I'm more in the organization of the. So we and for that you need more people, because some people said, okay, I would like 3 people or 4 people to talk about the 12-hour contact hours, because that's a kind of, yeah, you should live with 12 contact hours with the teaching staff. So okay, that's sufficient for discussion. And some others said, okay, what is the economics? So what it costs the system? That's a very important issue, because we are changing curricula because they are too expensive, and you should have at least 20 students in one course, otherwise we can't finance it. So what does it mean? Give numbers. There are no numbers, so that could lead to a question for the management team also. So you need more people to answer all the questions. There are so many problems in these cases, that you need more people to answer these questions. So
a group size larger than 5 is desirable.
Yeah, or you say, okay, focus you on 2 items, and the rest skip the other. Because the literature points to, let's say, 12 items to be discussed if we are talking about changing a curriculum. Focus on 2 items, but that's more the format.
Mm-hmm.
But I have no idea how other groups are working. I understand that one of the other groups for track 3, they are making a very efficient work document. I have no idea how it works, but they are working also on daily basis with each other, so they know each other.
Yeah,
so
the group is a bit larger as well.
Yeah.
I think they didn't have any dropouts. In general, there are 5 groups with more than 3 members, and out of the 5, 4 of them made it until the end. So they kept handing in assignments, and which is quite fortunate. But given the fact that most people in this pilot are well versed in PBL, I would expect that people wouldn't have any difficulty making this work with little time investment. I'm quite wondering what would happen if people with 0 prior knowledge on PBL would take this MOOC. If you were to make an educated guess, how would you feel about this MOOC if you forgot about all you know about PBL?
I think all the literature is very informative. I think perhaps you can have more focused lectures, and then I think the focus on some problems, so more detailed discussions. Yeah, I think if they work, let's say, yeah, if you have no experience at all, but that's strange. I think everyone has experience with project-oriented education programs, etc. But I think if you have 4 or 5 hours a week, it's full. But then you can read everything. You can read everything. The question is, then you are familiar with the items of PBL, and then it comes, what are you going to do with what you have read? Then you go back to your bench, or you go back into the management or whatever. But you have walked along the total line of PBL, starting with the group, the students, starting from the students up to the organization. So you are really come in contact with all the issues, the daily practice of PBL and running the system. You recognize that all these items are part of the discussions in the Maastricht University at all levels. So they nicely cover all the items. In the beginning, it was more propaganda, I think, with the students, where they get interviews, so the quality of what they learned, and etc. But okay, that's okay. So you should become enthusiastic about PBL. But if you go on Google, you will find many things about PBL, But I think this is really then a very nice course to give you some insights in PBL, in the whole organization of the educational program.
Okay.
Yeah.
Geraldine,
No, I
you have
think
questions?
it's interesting because you address some issues which remains like things with which we struggled ourselves. Can you do this course on PBL in a PBL way?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's, I think, a difficult one. If I hear you, I think one
Yeah,
of
I
the
need to see faces. I
yeah.
need because in the group, if you're sitting in a group as a, let's say, student or as tutor, you always look at the students or they look at you. So if you completely miss this, it's more reading, and then you're making an abstract or you mark things. You're more in the process of learning, not in the process of exchange. And making a document could be copy-paste because you don't see what you are taking out. So what does it mean? So for that, I would like to have a discussion. So, and this is what I missed, but that's my own decision. I would like to have a more, yeah, we see each other and react on each other, or make a joke or a comment or challenge, etc. And that's not work for me. It's not working. By if you type something in and use words and you don't see them. So yeah, I like you. What does it mean if you don't see the part? I like your words. Then you always go to the person and have some idea who the person is, or what. Yeah.
But would it help then if we would stress, because you have like what we are doing now, or it doesn't need to be like this, but indeed like Skype or whatever, if we would inform participants more about those possibilities, that they can use some tools to discuss with one another in a way that they see one another, although then you need a common time frame, of course.
Yeah, I think if you would like to participate, you should give some time or allow yourself to give some time to see each other in the beginning, to have a kind of common chat or to see each other. But perhaps that's old-fashioned, or people say, yeah, nowadays, no, but no, everyone has exchanged images or experience what I've seen, small sentence. So you should introduce yourself, because that's also what we said. Starting, let's say, the PBL groups, making a round of introduction or talk about what would you like to train in this course, or what is your problem, or you're quite still, you don't say many. So be active, somewhat more active, reflect on what you've read or whatever. You can't use the whiteboard. So you can't make a scheme, but again, it's possible to make a scheme. But if you would like to summarize things, it's always nice to be able to draw. But some people are very clever to make these images or schemes. But that would be, I think, would be the content is okay, but the format. But I think what's important that you should summarize the experience of all the others, what of the format, how they are working. And yeah, for myself, I miss the contact with people I never met. I know that in another colleague in another group, I know, okay, that's Mr. X. I know, okay, that I can challenge him because I worked with him, and I could ask him things about the PBL or about specific experience. Because the literature is very complete. So if you read the literature, you have the update thoughts about PBL. And for me, it's more introductory, what I forgot or what I should revitalize again when participating in PBL-oriented learning.
Okay.
Yeah?
Thank you very much. Ergo, unless you still have some questions, I'm looking at the time a little bit.
No,
No?
I think that it was very nice to hear this this view on the user experience in this MOOC.
Yeah.
Yeah, very. And we will also send you a questionnaire, a survey where you can also express your comments. We would like others, if you watch this Google Hangout and if you agree with what Ton said, or whether when you have other feedback to us, please feel free to give
Yeah,
it.
and I think would be nice perhaps to, if yeah, perhaps you can organize after you have had your interviews of comments. Perhaps then we could come together or to have a chat somewhere about our experience.
That's perhaps a very good idea
Yeah.
for those who can make it. Yeah, we'll discuss it later in the team. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
I'll close this session now and continue the good work.
We are waiting now for Diana, or is she's gone?
She's no, she will not make it. Perhaps we will do another one with her separately then.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Geraldine and Echo. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.